Morning, Rev. I'm doing a hell of a lot of videos sent over to you. I'm sorry. It's 8:38 in the morning. It's the 23rd still of January 2025. If you've been paying attention to the old gas bag, now he's planning on leaving the states high and dry when it comes down for disaster relief. Think about this one. Canada gets into a situation. And Trudeau, if he was still in office at the time, suddenly makes the declaration that each province is on its own. Each area is on its own for recovery. You're not going to get any help from the entire sovereignty. Meaning, Reverend, if Halifax goes under, it's up to them to recover. No church to help you out, unless it's local. I think the prayer thing with the bishop was just smokescreen. I think he really, really wants to decimate our country. One way or another, he just doesn't understand, or else he just doesn't care, and the people will follow him. They will follow him over a cliff because he would sell them tickets to do so and tell them. He would tell them. They're dragging and kicking and screaming our country over to the cliff. And these are the kind of things that would make motions go up the deep end, and not to mention doing things rash and talking about things rash. Every safeguard we had in our country that kept us safe from a lot of things. He's finding ways to getting rid of them, one way or another. What we hold sacred, what we hold and didn't realize that we had protections. Going away with the signing of an executive order. A department here, a department there. Poof. Democracy dies with thunderous applause. But it's not the applause of his victims, it's the applause of his supporters. And the schmuck doesn't care. And the supporters, if they actually thought of it, don't know any better. I may have gotten a nap, and I may have gotten up and just looked at some of the stuff. And I'm hearing and I'm reading. I know about it, knee-jerk reactions, and I'm getting a knee-jerk reaction to it. That's why I'm talking to you about it. The knee-jerk reaction for this situation. This situation. Sometimes I'm starting to understand the lone wolf. The highly educated, motivated individuals who had to learn skills to do stupid things and do stupid things only because it's the only course of action that they have and that they're going to do. We're in for it, Rev. We're in for it. We're in for so much we don't even realize it. It doesn't matter if we got the Constitution behind us in the country. We got a madman that the politicians won't stop and refuse to. He's making announcements to the world that he's separating one way or another. He's not going to separate. He's not going to support anybody. If Ukraine continues on its option, well, he's not going to do a damn thing about it. There's nothing he will do about it. He's speaking at a World Economic Forum virtually. He's not leaving his desk, but he's going to be blathering to people. Meanwhile, House Minority Leader is trying to figure out what the hell he's going to do next. And that would be the phone. I put up an emergency alert situation on here concerning about things happening. And of course, the Lake Hughes fire is still trying to get. Last time I checked, I had a 16% containment. Maybe they got a little bit more on it, hopefully, to get it knocked down. I'll just be vibrating. Yeah, hell of a thing to wake up to. I mean, I know I was feeling a little bit raunchy, and probably some of the videos I've got are probably just for storage right now. I don't think they're going to be putting them out. Believe me, some of the stuff that I've been saying at this point, it's not worth it putting them out. And some things are just not. They're that dark, more uglier. Actually, it would have been a hell of a lot worse. And has to be stored. Has to be. Because I don't trust myself. I don't trust myself, Reb. I'm not saying it to the therapist. I'm saying it to you. Why? Because the therapist would be legally bound to report. And only because you hadn't. That's why I'm not publishing it. See, anything that kind of dark and creepy deserves to be hidden. Yeah, it deserves to be put in light. Showing the world how dark and ugly it is. Well, might as well shine a light on hell at this point and show how dark and ugly it is on every damn aspect of it, and then we laugh at the damn thing. Until somebody pushes us off and we're landing in there again. No, I don't think so. I've already got my stuff out there already enough as it is, and I am not pushing on it people's throats for this one. It's just too damn crazy what we're going through, dude. I mean, this is just insane, Rev. How am I supposed to find justification for all the dark thoughts? Especially when I'm seeing the classic triggers happening right now. Excuse me. Morning gas. I've been trying to sleep. I've been trying to get a little bit more sleep in the morning hours. I'm getting a late start at things. And during the cold, Mama's sleeping more. She didn't like to get up as much. I don't blame her. It's still a bit chilly in the house. Oh well. Get rid of federal programs that we depend on a lot of things for, take for granted for. And he wants to do this. It's just what scares me concerning about what we've unleashed on everybody. Is what he has proposed undoing. And it's up to everybody else to figure it out that he wants to bury us alive. If he wants to be more in control, more power, and everything else, he's got to step over bodies and step over graves and crush skulls and stuff. But this asshole, this also is making he's making remarks that is pushing him into an edge of a dictatorship. I'm not listening to him. I know what empires do. And I know what kind of bullshit he's got. He's going to sell out countries that are still at war with others. You got to make the deal, or else you're going to go on. Just give him what the bill he wants. There had already been a couple of times in the election that he actually was threatened. One almost didn't make it. Didn't quite. Believe me, all the people that we understand, all the people that we have faith and trust in that we're supposed to be following their examples, would not sanction in any way, shape, or form. Not even if it was merited. Not even if it was merited. And it's not. But I'm wondering if it would have been See, I can't complete the thought at this point over here. I can think it. And all I keep seeing in my face, it's not of my family, is some of the people that I admire looking at me with sad faces. Not angry faces. Breaking their hearts. I could come up with something to say about it, saying, but you don't realize what we're dealing with here. And the thing is, I'll probably see looking at me still with the silent faces. Did I not learn anything in history about tyrants, about bullies? Did I not learn? Yeah, and I didn't speak loudly enough about the bastards, and when I get in office because of stupidity, because people were stupid enough to listen to the assholes. They didn't realize who they were letting in. Their country's starting to fall. Well, what do we do with the tyrant who's still in there? We have to suffer. We have to suffer them. And there will be more angry people telling and saying that we are not going to take this down. We're not taking this land down. We are going to do what we got to do. And no matter how many promises a dictator will make, things are not going to get better. They're going to get worse. Because what we're all waiting for right now is the authoritative boots, the boots, the marches. One way or another, he's going to throw boots on the ground. Make his point. Use the local constabulatories. We've seen it happen in history. And the problem is there's usually violent overthrows. But is the one overthrowing a hell of a lot worse than the guy being overthrown? I'm not quite sure what to make of it all, or how to make of it all. And I know that all the pundits that go over the information, all the political analysts will try to decipher things. Deciphering is one thing. It's the hotheads that are the ones we got to watch out for. And sometimes they may be right, but other times, are they right? It's not a fairy tale story when I read history and experienced it either. It's not a fairy tale. It's a reality check. I know the hotheads would probably take up arms and do stuff. That's why I have to talk about this one to someone. Because I sure as hell don't want to put myself in that kind of situation where we have to keep smiling to the camera, watch everything else goes off the air, and then everything else is going hell in a handbasket after that. We're in for it. We complain about the food prices now. Wait until they get a little bit worse. Energy prices are going to go crazy. Windmills going downhill. Trump don't like windmills. Why? I don't know. I never could have quite figured that shit out. Did he have a problem with a toy fan when he was a younger kid? Did he almost get his finger sliced off or something like that? I don't get it. I don't. Something about it just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't compute. And that we're in for it. See all these commercials of these smiling, well-to-do people having things that they are enjoying. And that's for the elites to enjoy. Because us regular schmucks can look at this damn shit like, trips to different places, have to have passports. Well, it must be nice having a passport prior. Because now you can't even get that without any scrutiny. And if you did get a passport, where are you going to go? Out of the country permanently? You coming back in? You, on the other hand, are right where you are, theoretically safe. I tried to do a little doomsday on you a while ago, older videos, because I was afraid of what a Trump empire might look like. I'm waiting for the military to make up its mind whether or not if they are going to be doing stupids. And they already have. I think by National Guard and by military troops we got at the borders deployed. They are now breaking posse comitatus. But they're supposed to be securing the borders. Supposed to be border patrol. Maybe in an old proposal that Biden had, he was going to sign and it was taken away. Maybe they would have been having troops on the border. Those wanted to come into the country cannot, even if they got any legitimate concerns. There was something I was watching on YouTube that got my attention. I think it was YouTube. I'm not quite so sure. Or maybe it was just on the regular that I was watching and it just... But it was about migrant workers who got flown to the States, living in Florida, while they do a seasonal work, which means all those agricultural projects and things we depend upon, all the food. You think regular Americans are doing all the picking? No, we're getting it from migrant workers, and the migrant workers are getting paid peanuts, treated like crap, but they're the ones putting the food on our table. Are Americans going to be stooping that low to do that? They hadn't been so for a hell of a long while. They wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole, not unless they're a farmer. But we've got agricultural businesses running out there. Do you think they're advertising top dollar to be a lettuce picker? And yet, miles away from Mar-a-Lago, we got. Do we actually have it? Miles away from Mar-a-Lago. You're not seeing the irony in this one here, are you? They're complaining so much about the migrant worker and about the illegal immigrants. They got lettuce pickers on work visas in Florida. It's one thing dealing with the citrus, but we're dealing with lettuce picking? What have I got to be looking for? Something that I gotta look for the greenery. Oh, you don't understand. If there is a field right by an airport, that's not it. Know what I'm looking for is agriculture. If we do actually have agriculture in certain spots, in Florida, if there's actually growth happening in Florida, if we actually have green area that are fields and not just alligator country, if we actually have fields where people are growing things and being processed, still in the state of Florida, where migrants would have to work like crazy what I've been trying to look for in Florida, if there were any large swaths of land where they're using it for farming. How about juniper? Juniper farms. Granted, they still have areas, but they do. Oh, damn it. Maybe not so much. Maybe they got them somewhere in the great state of Florida where they're using farms a great deal for agriculture still. Maybe they are miles away from miles and miles and miles away. for it. I know we are. Talk later.